All right, so once again, we're going to complete our unadjusted trial balance. So you should have it right here. So trial balance number 4 is going to be the last thing that you see on here, and then you have the unadjusted trial balance right here on your worksheet, okay? So exactly what we did for trial balance number 4, what I'm going to do is instead of having the, instead of having to type everything in again or copy and paste over, because sometimes when you copy cells over into another sheet, sometimes it doesn't grab everything, especially if you're copying multiple items in a row or in a column. Sometimes when you transfer it over, sometimes if you have a formula in it, it won't transfer over. So the best way to do it is to go ahead and right click it, and you're going to go ahead and move or make a copy. So once again, I want to do it right here, right above my unadjusted trial balance, and I'm going to click on make a copy, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So there it is. My trial balance number 4 is right next to my trial balance as well as my unadjusted trial balance. So what I can do here is I have to delete this in order for me to rename it, to rename my other worksheet, right? You can't have more than one of the same exact worksheets with the same exact title on it. You must have some kind of variation. So in this case, I'm going to delete my unadjusted trial balance, okay? Click delete. And then I'm going to click on my trial balance number 4, and I'm going to rename it to be the unadjusted TB, okay? So here it is. And in this case, I'm going to make modifications, right? Because it's not ending as of the 28th. It is ending as of the 30th of June. So let me enter that in. So let me /30. Okay. So there you go. And here, if I wanted to, since it says trial balance on it, you can add the title in here to say this is the unadjusted. Oh, I can't even type today. Unadjusted trial balance. Okay? So whatever you need to make any modifications to. Now, as I've mentioned this before, what I'm going to have you guys do is I want you guys to start adding in a couple new extra things. So here I want you to start completing the unadjusted trial balance, and how I want you to do it is I want you to start using main accounts. So in this case, what I'm going to do is, since I have a list of every single account that exists in the books, right? Whether it's a main account or a sub account, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create another column and another row. So, I'm sorry, another column here. So I'm going to actually click on letter B, and I'm going to go ahead and insert that real quick. Okay, so now I just shifted all of my cells to the right, and I inserted right between the two here. Okay. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do here is this is going to be my main debit accounts. Okay. And then so I'm going to click on D once again, and I'm going to insert another column in between. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this says debit. Okay, because once again, I want to create this section, and what this section does is it's going to be my it's going to be the list of all my main accounts on there. Undo. There you go. And then I want this to say credit. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay, so now let's pull this a little out and shrink it down a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink my columns just a little bit so then we can kind of see where we're working at in our space. Okay. So by doing this, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my main accounts and I'm going to add up my sub accounts and place it here. All right. And our end goal is that at the end of the day, your total debits and your total credits will match. Okay. So let me see. So my credits could be shrunken up just a bit. I think my debits could be shrunken up a bit too. So I'm going to try to squeeze all 4 of the columns together so we can see them we can see them all in one page or in one section instead of having to scroll a little more to the left or a little more to the right. Okay, so there I'm shrinking that one and I gotta shrink my last one. Okay, so once again, let's go ahead and get started with our unadjusted trial balance with the very first account here, which is our main account. So we're going to start with assets first. We're going to start with our main account as the bank. So I'm also going to use different colors just so then when I do enter in my information, I know exactly what belongs to what. So in this case, my first account is going to be my bank account because it's a main account. Remember when I associated, I told you this in the very, very, very beginning. How I set my chart of accounts is that anything that's in full capital letters is the main account. The sub account is anything that is in regular alphabet letters, okay? Lower and uppercase. So in this case, my first account is going to be my bank account. And underneath my bank account is going to be my checking, okay, my petty cash, and my cash into the register. And then here's my next account, which is the accounts receivable. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert one row above my checking account. So I'm going to click on my checking and I'm going to insert a row above it, okay? And I'm going to make sure that it is formatted how I like, okay? So here, I'm going to choose another color so I can associate the difference between my main accounts and my sub accounts. So I'm going to choose this nice, I guess this nice purplish color here, okay? And it's going to be the main account of a bank. All right, actually, that color is not very good. It's too bright, so I'm going to go a little darker. Maybe even this color. Okay, so again, we have bank. All right, so let's update the sub accounts like with their account balances, and then we're going to equal sum each column. Okay, so let's go ahead and update my checking account. All right, so in my checking account, what is my ending balance as of June 30th? So I got 13,69367. Okay. What about my petty cash? Is any changes there? No. And what about my cash in the register?
No change there.
No change there either. So what I'm going to do is, now that I have all of my sub accounts already adjusted and whatnot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my debit side. I'm going to click on that account where it says bank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to equal sum. And I'm going to add my checking. Okay. I'm going to add my petty cash. And I'm going to add my cash in the register. And I should get a grand total of $14,503.67. And I'm also going to change the color for that one too, so I know the difference between my main and my sub accounts. So here I have a grand total, and if I click on this, it's consisting these three numbers, right? And that's what I want you to do, because when we go into the adjusted trial balance, then we are prepared because we have our main accounts already tallied up. And when we complete the financial statements, it's going to be a lot easier to compute to put together. Okay, so that was my first main account. Now my next main account is going to be my accounts receivable. What is underneath accounts receivable? Oh, I meant what belongs to my accounts receivable?
Allowance for doubtful accounts, there's
Oh,
no balance.
there's no balance. So in this case, we can ignore the allowance for doubtful accounts because there is no balance in there. There's no purpose to have it. Plus, it's going to be used in the adjusted trial balance because it's an adjustment. Okay, so here I automatically have accounts receivable as my blue because it is going to be a main account. And here I just need to update what it is. So what is my account balance in my accounts receivable?
1531.95.
1531.95. So here I update here, and I know for a fact that this is exactly what it is. It is the main account of this. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to highlight this whole thing so I can make them all blue. I don't have to do every single one individually. So I'm going to make this all blue. Okay, so there it is. So for a fact, because I know if I update that one, there's only that main account. So I'm just going to equal and cell reference it right here. Okay, so then what is the next main account here? We have business supplies. So here that means I need to insert a new cell. Oops, I deleted. I'm going to insert a new cell in between here because now I have a new main account called business supplies. Okay, and what's going to be consisting underneath my business supplies? Okay, I have my medium cups.
Large cups, and sugar and creamer.
Perfect. So let's update each one and then equal sum it. So what's my balance in my medium cups? $3,788. Okay. What about my balance in my large cups? 56832. Okay. What about my sugar account? 6480, no change there. And then what about my creamer? Yeah, no change either. So what I'm going to do is, now that I have all of those, right, I'm going to go ahead and go click on my business supplies, and I'm going to equal sum it. So I'm going to take my medium, large, sugar, and creamer. And I'm going to equal those up to get a total of 1550.89. Okay. So once again, if I double click on this, it's taking my medium, large, sugar, and creamer accounts and adding them up. Okay. All right. So then what is next after that? We got office supplies. So once again, it's black right now. I'm going to change it to blue because we know that the office supplies is a main account. Here, it says it's 150. What does it say here? It's 150. So what I can do here is it's 150. All right. So then what is next? We have inventory, which is a main account. Inventory, okay? How much is in my regular coffee right now? $61.11. Okay. What about my Supreme coffee? How much should I have in my Supreme coffee right now? 180.97. And this one's straightforward. You don't need to equal sum. There's only two numbers. So I'm going to just add my regular with my Supreme. Boom. I should get 24208. Okay. Let's see what's next. We have no coffee mugs yet. That's going to be at the end of our adjustment period. We have to insert that in there when we do our adjustment. So what's after that? Furniture. Furniture is going to be the table, the counter, the desk set, and the display shelves. So insert furniture. All right, and I'm going to highlight it blue or make it blue. Okay. So I could do this. I could just equal sum it now and just change everything after that. Because I know for a fact it should be my table, counter, desk set, and display shelves. Right? And let's go ahead and take a look. How much was my tables? 6605. That didn't change. My desk set did not change. Oh wait, that's the counter. My desk set still did not change. And lastly, my display shelves did not change. It's still 57708. So here, I don't need to make any adjustments because they're fixed assets. We haven't depreciated them yet. So there's no need to update any of their accounts. Okay. Then what is next?
Office equipment.
Office equipment. Okay, same thing here. We know that the office equipment equals sum should be my computer, my printer, and my cash register. So here we are. Let's double check. Did my computer change? No. Did my printer change? No. And did my cash register change? No. Okay. So then next I have is equipment. So here. I'm going to add in another row to plug in my equipment. Now, if it's easier for you to just go ahead and complete the trial balance by itself without using the main accounts and then creating another one with the main accounts, it's up to you. I think this is the easiest way to do it just because you have already all of your accounts there. All you have to do is update them and then just equal sum them in their main accounts. It's not that much more work. Even though it looks more complicated than it is, I think this is the easiest way to compute a trial balance using the main accounts while having your sub accounts in there. Now you're probably thinking, why didn't we do this in the first place? It's because there's no point to do a trial balance with main accounts that have zero balances. Like once again, it just clutters more space. It would have been easier, better practice if you had that mentality in the first place, but then we'll never ever complete our trial balance for a while. And on top of that, you don't need to do it right away. You only need to do it towards the end of the given period, which we've already reached. So that's why I'm doing it now. So again, equipment is going to be my coffee brewer plus my coffee grinder. Oh, wrong account. Okay, so let's take a look. Did my coffee grinder or brewer change? Is it still 4505? Yes. My coffee grinder. Is it still 4145? Yes. So next I have is vehicles. I think vehicles will probably be the only exception where I'll let you keep truck. But, just because I want to be consistent, go ahead and insert their vehicles. Okay. And once again, in this case, your vehicle should be only your truck, which is for $32,000, right? Did that change at all? No. We haven't dealt with depreciation yet. So nothing there. Okay. All right. So next is prepaid accounts. Prepaid accounts. So all of these are main accounts. So I'm just going to highlight them because since they're all main accounts, they're all going to appear as blue. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look. Did my prepaid accounts change? No. Okay. What about my deposits? Did my deposits change? No. Okay. What about my goodwill? Yeah, goodwill. No, it's still 2,100. Okay. And of course, miscellaneous suspense, there's nothing in there. So now we already completed our first section, which is our assets. So anything that's in blue is going to be our main accounts. So look at this. Instead of having, once again, 50 different accounts, I shrunk them up to only having maybe 10 or less accounts. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to compute the main accounts because once again, once we complete our adjusted trial balance, the financial statements will become a lot more easier. Okay. So now that we've finished our assets, let's move on to liabilities. Let's take a look at our liabilities. All right. We have a main account, accounts payable. Okay. What is my account balance in my accounts payable? $45, $30, $70. Okay, 45, 34, 70, 30, 40, 45. Why am I struggling? 45, 34, 70. Okay, so I have to change this to 45, 34, 70. Okay, and because it's a main account, I just copy it right over, and we know that this whole section here is your main accounts, and I'm going to highlight them for my credit side to also be in the blue. Okay. What about my Visa payable? What is my Visa payable account right now?
1885.89.
1885.89. 1885.89. 1885.89. 1885.89. And of course, it's a main account, so therefore, I'm just going to cell reference that right over. Okay. Then let's see what the next account is, because the next account I see is going to be payroll liabilities. So once again, we entered all these little sub accounts. So that means all of these are going to be under payroll liabilities. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my row here and make this payroll liabilities. All right, and look, it's in blue already. So what I know about this is my payroll liabilities are going to consist of my employee FITW, my OASDI, my HI, my company FICA, company FUTA, SUTA, workers' compensation. So all of these right here are going to be my payroll liabilities. So equal sum. I'm going to click and drag all of these numbers here and enter. So I should have a total of $179.76 worth of payroll tax liabilities. Now let's double confirm that each one are still the same. So once again, what is my FITW? Still 4016. My Social Security still $33.73. My HI is still $7.89. My company FICA is still $41.62. My company FUTA is still $32.64. SUTA is still $16.32, and lastly, workers' comp is still $7.40. So this number is true. All right, let's double confirm that this is all of those. Okay. Then next we have on the list is going to be my sales tax payable, right? Let's see. Did we have a utilities payable? No. So therefore, okay, so that means we don't have any city payable, we have no gas payable, electric payable, water payable, telephone payable. We have none of those. Okay, we haven't received our utilities bill yet. And we won't until July. Okay. So here I have next is unearned revenue. No account balance in there, so I can ignore this one. And then now I have my sales tax payable. So let's take a look at my sales tax payable. It's a main account. How much is my sales tax payable? $20.46.11. $20.46.11. And it's a main account. So I could just transfer that information right over. Okay. Then let's see my loans. What's under my loans? I got business loan and I got truck loan. So in this case, let's go ahead and type it in here. Loans. as my main account, LOANS. And this should be blue. And once again, the only thing that's in my loans right now is my truck loan, which is outstanding for $29,221.90. And did we make any changes? Did we pay this loan off at all? No. Okay. This is again gonna happen when you receive the bill. So here, I know for a fact that's the only one I have, so I can just copy that right over into my loans account. Okay. Now we are completely done with my liabilities. Okay. So let's take a look at owner's equity. Owner's equity is a main account. So is owner's withdrawal. So these are going to become blue. Owner's equity. How much is in my owner's equity? $30,000. Okay. And then what about my owner's withdrawal? $3,000. So none of these accounts actually change in value. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy their cells over. So here's 30,000 in my owner's equity, and then I'm also going to copy the 3,000 for my owner's withdrawal. Okay. So now we are completely done with our equity accounts. Okay. Everyone good with me so far? Okay. So next we have is your revenues. Okay. Revenues is going to be a huge chunk, right? Because we have to deal with sales supreme regular coffee, sales supreme coffee, sales coffee ceramic mugs, the medium regular, medium supreme, and large supreme. So this whole section right here is going to be under my main account of just sales. Okay, so once again, sales is the umbrella organization. It's broken down into individually exactly what you sell. So if I sold something in particular, right, I should not just associate it in the general area. I should keep track of it by making sure that if I sell X amount of regular coffee, at least I'm able to pull up a report and say, well, I sold all of this and this is all of my regular coffee. And I could compare it to my other one, which is the Supreme coffee. Okay. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and sum them all up. And then we'll go from there. So equal sum. Okay, so let's go ahead and break it down in each and individually because I know for sure we've changed each account. So let's start with the first one. What was my sales for the regular coffee? 11,1202. Where did you get that 11 for the let me see. Regular coffee 11. I did not get 11. Okay, so you didn't add in the 29th or the 30th.
Oh.
Yeah. So what is it, Irene? No? 1394.96. Okay. So here is 1394.96. Okay. And then what about my Supreme coffee? Okay. And then what about my ceramic coffee mugs? $1763.91. Okay. All right. What about my sales for the medium regular coffee? $76. Okay, and then my sales for the large regular coffee. Is now 6503.25. Okay. What about my sales for the medium supreme coffee? Okay. And last but not least, what is my sales for the large supreme coffee?
75.24.44.
Okay. So here in grand total, I made a total sales of $30,549. Okay. Instead of having to break it down individually, I can tell you, oh, I made a total sales of $30,549. Okay. Let's see what else happened here. So here are some extra main accounts here. So we have a sales returns and allowances as well as a sales discount. And we also have delivery income as well as a main account. So I'm going to put them in blue. Now, for my sales returns and allowances, did my value change? No, it's still $19. Okay. And then my sales discount, did that change? Yes, it did.
No. Oh, yeah, it changed.
Yes, it changed because we had to calculate all the discounts that we gave our customers, right? We gave them each, Katie, I think the corner and great restaurant, we gave them, or Super A, we gave all three of them 1% discounts. So what is my new total in my sales discount?
181,980.
Yes. And of course, that's a main account, so we're just going to copy that information right over. What about my delivery income? What's my total delivery income here?
300.
It's 300, and because it's a main account, I'm going to copy that right over. Okay. So now we've completed our revenues, right? Because we don't have interest income. Right? We're almost done, guys. So now we have our cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. We only have two things, right? Our regular coffee, our cost of goods sold for regular coffee, cost of goods sold for our supreme coffee. Everything under there is going to be saved for the adjustment entry. So here, I'm going to go ahead and create a new account. Or I'm sorry, yes, a new account for the main account for the cost of goods sold. Okay. And it's going to equal my cost of goods sold for the regular coffee and the cost of goods sold for my supreme coffee. So let's take a look because we did sell a lot of our coffees. So what is my account balance for the cost of goods sold for my regular coffee?
1097.51.
Okay. That's from the past. Yes, we've sold
67,
13,
13, 6739.
67.
67.39. Good. Okay. And then what was my total for my cost of goods sold for the Supreme coffee?
1441.28.
Okay. So in grand total, we sold 2808.67 is our cost of goods sold. Okay. So then now everything else is going to be, well, actually, no. Well, it's going to be, most of it's going to be main account. So now that we're done with our cost of goods sold, right, we can move on to operating expenses. Starting from the first one, operating expense. Okay. Operating expense. So we should have the first four are going to be main accounts, right? Because we have advertising expense. Did my advertising expense change? No, it's still 185. So let me change these all to blue. Nope, my operating expenses is still 185. I'm sorry, my advertising expense. What about my bank fees? Do I have any bank fees? Not yet. We will see this as an adjustment when we do our bank reconciliation. What about my business expense? Has that changed? Nope, it's still the same, still $1,000. Okay. What about my freight expense? Is it still 500? Yes. Okay. Next is insurance expense. Is insurance expense still 195.83?
Yes.
Yes. So we can copy that right over. Okay. Now next is going to be labor expense. So here we do need to create a main account here just because I have the main account is expands out to subcontractor and temporary labor. So in this case, I just want to sum it all up. Okay, which this should equal my subcontractor plus my temporary, right? So let's double confirm. Did my subcontractor expense change? No, still $18.90. What about my temporary work labor? Did that change? No. Okay. So let's see what's next. We got license and permit expense. Okay. Right? License and permit expense. No one? License and permits expense. Did that change? No. Same thing with my loss on disposal of asset. That definitely did not change. Okay. So it's still license is still $375. Loss is still $2,000. Okay. Now we have now we have office supplies expense. Do we have office supplies expense yet? No. That's going to be an adjustment entry. So next we have payroll expenses. Yes, we have 3 that are under payroll expenses. So I'm going to insert this right here. Payroll expense. Okay. Right? It's going to be equal sum our salaries and wages expense, our commissions expense, and our payroll tax liability expense. Okay, so just those three. Enter. Okay, so let's take a look at it one more time. What is my total salaries and wages expense?
544.
5.4.
Okay, so did that change? No. What about my commissions expense? Still the same. What about my payroll tax expense? Still the same. Okay. So what's next? Purchase expense. Okay. So purchase expense is going to consist of purchase returns and allowances as well as purchase discounts, right? These are contra accounts. They are contra to the main account or to the, yes. So these are what's underneath it. So let's go ahead and calculate it, right? So here I have no purchase discount, so I don't have to worry about that. But let's take a look at purchase returns and allowances. Purchase returns and allowances is still 22.24, right? Let's see. Purchase returns, yeah, 22.24. Right? And my purchase expense, is it still for the 1092.50 or 1092.20? Yes. So in this case, what's going to happen here is I'm going to leave it the way it is. Okay, but when you do actually do compute it, because we're doing the main accounts, it's literally, since purchase expense is the main account and purchase returns and allowances decreases it, this is what we're going to do. So this one's going to be a little complicated. This one's going to be my total purchase expense. Okay. So it's going to be my purchase expense, right? It's going to equal this. Subtract your purchase returns and allowances. Okay, and I should get a grand total of $1069.96 for my total purchase expenses, because I have a contra account that I need to consider. Okay, and then last but not least, what is do I have rent expense? Or actually, in this case, I should have, yeah, rent expense is my last one, right? Because we don't have travel, we don't have utilities, and we don't have bad debt, depreciation, or amortization just yet. These are all going to be adjustment entries. So the last thing I have is my rent expense, which is already a main account. So that should be in blue. And did I change my rent expense for this month? No, it's still the 1,500. So once again, let's go ahead and compute this, right? Ooh, whoops, undo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and equal sum my accounts. I at least equal sum all of my debits here for my main accounts. Okay, and I got 98,668.85. Now I'm gonna also do my equal sum for my main accounts. Excuse me, I'm really bad today. Undo, 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 undo. Okay, so here equal sum. Okay, and we're said that this is going to be blue once again. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and do the formula so I can actually physically see if there is a difference or not between the two accounts, my debits and credits. So again, I have 0 differences between my main accounts. So I match my blue, which is my main account, for 98,668.85 on both sides. And if I do my sub accounts, I should have the 98,691.09 on both sides. So that's how you compute the whole entire trial balance using the main accounts. Okay, I made it easier so then you just click and equal the sum and you'll be able to be done. All right, so let's look at this. Any questions in regards to the unadjusted trial balance? So I'm going to show you once again. I got the main accounts in blue and my sub accounts in black. All right, any questions? Did everyone equal with me as well?
I marked as a mistake in the first one. So
The-
I'll try to check.
Okay. All right. So once again, I'll be posting the answers since we've completed everything up to now. I'll be posting this unadjusted trial balance as well. So you guys can take the whole weekend to kind of figure out where you guys went wrong, any discrepancies. Okay, any other extra questions?
No?
All right. So once again, right now it's 10:30. All right. Only thing that you have to do is just your journal. So I'm gonna let you guys go early for that. So once again, I don't want to start the